Today on Steelers Talk, I'm going to be going over ESPN's Pittsburgh Steelers 2024 preview, where they talk about a bevy of different topics, getting you guys ready for the start of the 2024 season when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Topics discussed is going to be the biggest strength, biggest weakness, the X factor for this season, a surprising starting lineup projection that I have some disagreements with. We'll get into that later. And then they give their updated power ranking for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's something you're not going to want to miss, so make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's show. And guys, ESPN Plus, they make you pay $11 a month for this type of content, okay? You have to pay $11 to get behind their paywall. Guess what? Here on Steelers Talk, we're such nice guys. We're going to give you guys this content 100% free today because that's what we do. We don't charge you to enjoy our content every single day. We're going to give it to you guys 100% free. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now for free. Premium Steelers content every single day here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all of your support that you give to this channel each and every day. Now, let's get into our first topic here, which is going to be the biggest strength for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And according to ESPN, that is going to be edge rusher. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, they're really impressed with the way that the Steelers' edge rusher position is shaping out heading into the year. And this is what ESPN's Mike Clay had to say about the Steelers' pass rush. TJ Watt has been a first-team All-Pro in each of his past 4 healthy seasons, and he has a league-high 96.5 sacks since entering the NFL in 2017. No one else has more than 88.5. Wonder why? Because he's the best, that's why. Running mate Alex Highsmith has played a massive 85% of the defensive snaps over the past 2 seasons and sits 12th in the league in sacks at 21.5 during the span. Depth is a minor concern, though. Second year, Nick Herbig impressed on 201 snaps as a rookie. So listen, man, I would probably extend this biggest strength to the entire pass rush, right? Cam Heyward, when he's still healthy, in my opinion, is still one of the best defensive tackles in the game. Keanu Benton had a very impressive rookie season, and if you believe the Steelers brass and the people that have been at Steelers practices during OTAs, Keanu Benton's going to be freaking special in this league moving forward. So this is kind of the way the Steelers pass rush is configured right now. I think it's really good. You got 2 elite outside linebackers in Highsmith and Watt. Then you got Cam as your true 3 technique. Keanu Benton's going to be your starting nose tackle. And then Larry Ogunjobi is a really nice 5 technique that can play that 3-4 defensive end spot in this defense. Then we move on to the biggest weakness, according to ESPN, which is wide receiver. Okay, and this is something that we've talked about all offseason as something that the Steelers need to address, and this is what Mike Clay had to say about the wide receiver position. A longtime strength has become a concern spot following the offseason trade of Donte Jackson to Carolina. George Pickens has elite upside, but the position simply isn't otherwise a priority for the new-look Arthur Smith-led offense. Van Jefferson and third-round rookie Roman Wilson will battle for number 2 duties, with Calvin Austin III, Quez Watkins, and Scotty Miller among those battling for situational work. So I think that this analysis from Mike Clay is spot on as well. I think that this is a position that there's a reason why. We have talked about potential wide receiver trade targets and free agency targets ad nauseum on this channel. It seems like every single week we have something to do with a wide receiver here on the channel, if not every single day. And the reason for that is that this is probably the biggest weakness on the Steelers roster as we sit here today. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. What is Pittsburgh's biggest strength heading into the year? And then what is their biggest weakness? Let me know down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by letting me know the Steelers' biggest strength and biggest weakness. So now we get to another one here with where ESPN thinks is the X factor for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's going to be Troy Fautanu and Zach Frazier, the first 2 picks for the Steelers in the NFL draft this year. It seems like the Steelers are going to expect Fautanu and Frazier to start relatively quickly in their NFL careers, and this is what Mike Clay had to say about the 2 Steelers rookies. Rookie offensive linemen Troy Fautanu and Zach Frazier. Rookie offensive linemen, even first-round rookie offensive linemen like Fautanu, are typically below average in their first season. So while both Fautanu and Frazier, a second-round pick, offer upside given their draft pedigree, odds are they will represent weak points in the offensive line. And once again, guys, I think that Mike is correct here when they're saying that this is a X factor for the Steelers offensively this year, because if Fautanu and Frazier both stink in their rookie season, that's going to affect the run game. That's going to affect Russell Wilson's protection. That's going to affect the offense as a whole. So the Steelers really are counting on these two rookies to really be solid heading into their rookie seasons. But honestly, guys, I don't think that this is the biggest X factor. The biggest X factor for the Steelers this year is quarterback Russell Wilson. We all know that the quarterback position is the most important spot on the field at any given time. Russell Wilson is coming in here to try to prove to the world that he can still be a franchise quarterback at age 35. And I think it really comes down to this, and this is really the definition of an X factor. If X plays well, the team will succeed, right? So if Russell Wilson plays well, the Steelers are going to be really good this year. They're going to win double-digit wins just like they did last year with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky. If Russell Wilson plays well, this team's going to get to at least 11, 12, maybe even 13 wins, and they might even have a home playoff game this year, which I would assume that they would be favorites to win. So if Russell Wilson plays well, then this team's going to be really good. If he doesn't play well, once again, I expect Mike Tomlin to have this team competitive, 8-9 wins, and, just outside or just inside the playoff picture at the end of the year. And then probably a first-round playoff exit. So really the big difference there is how well Russell Wilson plays. And personally, guys, I think he's going to play really well. So now we go to ESPN's starting lineup projection for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I do have some disagreements with Mike Clay here that we'll get to in just a second. First up, the skill position players. Russell Wilson, projected starting cornerback. I agree with that. Same thing with the running backs, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Then the three wide receivers, he has George Pickens, Van Jefferson as the number 2 receiver, and then Roman Wilson starting the year as wide receiver 3. And the only disagreement I have is that, it's going to come down to training camp and who plays the best, and there is an open competition for that number 2 spot. But I think Calvin Austin III is the favorite to win that position right now. He had the best camp at OTAs. Without pads, in shorts, right? So it's not real football. He's going to have to prove it at camp. But right now, Calvin Austin III has really impressed people. He's developed a good chemistry with Russell Wilson. And if I had to pick 3 receivers that are going to see the field the most to start the year, it'd be Pickens, Calvin Austin III, and Roman Wilson. Then we get to the offensive line here, the offensive big guys and tight ends here. Pat Freiermuth starting tight end, obviously. And then, you got Broderick, Isaac, Zach Frazier, James Daniels, and Troy Fautanu. No disagreements here. Maybe Dan Moore Jr. starts the year at right tackle. But honestly, with his discomfort on the right side and Fautanu's comfort on that side, I think that Troy probably has the edge on the right side as well. Then we get to the defensive side of the ball here. The defensive line, they have it kind of listed kind of weird where they only have 4, defensive linemen. Steelers like to have 5 people close to the line of scrimmage on pretty much every single play. So this is just a fundamental misrepresentation of the Steelers defense. But they have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith as the edge rushers, of course, and then Cam Heyward and Larry Ogunjobi as the 2 defensive tackles. And honestly, guys, when they go into those 4-down lineman sets, they're going to put Keanu Benson on the field, not Larry Ogunjobi. Ogunjobi is that 3rd piece to that defensive line. Then we get to the defense. Then we get to the linebackers here, where they're going to have kind of a weird setup, in my opinion, where they're going to have Patrick Queen and Cole Holcomb as the 2 starting inside linebackers. We got a report, earlier this week that Cole Holcomb likely won't even play Week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. So to put him above Landon Roberts, who was fantastic last year, I just don't think is going to happen here. I think that, Patrick Queen, without a doubt, will be a starting linebacker, but Cole Holcomb, I think, is probably going to be put down the totem pole a little bit here when it comes to who's going to start at the linebacker position. Then we get to the secondary here for the Pittsburgh Steelers and what Mike Clay thinks is going to happen for this defense moving forward, and mostly it's okay. I think that I pretty much agree with his secondary projection almost fully. You got Joey Porter Jr., you got Donte Jackson and Cam Sutton. By the way, our software once again screwed us there. That's the Seattle Cam Sutton, not the Steelers Cam Sutton. We hate that here at Chat Sports. But anyway, you got Minkah Fitzpatrick as the free safety, Deshaun Elliott as the strong safety, and then DeMonte KZ as a rotational safety when this team goes to their patented 3 safety packages. No complaints here from me. I think that this is how the secondary will look for the Steelers this year. Then we get to ESPN's official power ranking for the Steelers, and they don't even have them in the top half of the league. This is an absolute disgrace, folks. 18th Out of 32 NFL franchises is where Mike Clay ranks the Steelers, and my guess is it's because he doesn't believe in Russell Wilson. And I think that this is a massive underestimation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to have a top 5 defense. They're going to have a really good run game. I hope their offensive line really turns a new leaf this year. And Russell Wilson, if he plays well, this team's going to win 11, 12, maybe even 13 games. So I think that puts them easily in the top 10 discussion. And, if they play well enough, maybe even in the top 5 discussion, which could definitely put them in title contention by season's end. Now, fill in the blank for me down there in the comments section. The Steelers have a top blank roster in the National Football League right now. I would say definitely top 10, top 8, somewhere around that range. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Again, ESPN Plus makes you pay $11 a month for this content. That's absolutely ridiculous. Just get it for free here on Steelers Talk by clicking that subscribe button right now. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.